Joe, you took a moment to kiss the parquet. I want to ask you about that, and I want to ask you about how you felt about the ring ceremony overall, and how it felt to have guys like Bob Cousy in the house.
Yeah, I just thought that was a moment, a way for me to just express myself on the parquet that's where there's blood, sweat, and tears of the greats, and so I don't get to go out there and dive on the floor for loose balls or like I'd love to or do any of that, and so that was a way to just express the passion and the gratitude that I have for our team, for the people that have come before, and for just what it means to be a Celtic. So there's no place better than the city and the team and just being in the arena with the people, so that was important. And again, I thought that was one of the most important things tonight. I told the guys to pay attention mostly to the team, but also passing on from Kuzi to Cedric Maxwell to Ray Allen and KG and Pierce and those guys. And one of the best things about the Celtics are the people that come before you, and that we wouldn't be the Celtics if those guys didn't hold up their end of the responsibility and the ownership. And so they did that, and it allows our team to. It allows the city to stay what it is. It allows the team to stay what it is. And now that's them. That's who they are, and that's the standard. So I just wanted them to take in that moment, and I'm really grateful for that.
Joe, Jason Tatum finishes last year in the playoffs shooting 28% from three. The talk in the summer is that he can't shoot. Is this what you expected, knowing the work he puts into his craft?
Yeah. I mean, I expect him to just stay right here and just continue to work on his game, continue to get better. And, I'm proud of, obviously, the way he shot the ball, but more just how he dominated the game in all the areas and picked his spots really well, took the shots that he wanted. But, I mean, the guy just works hard every day, doesn't allow things to get in the way of what's most important. And that kind of showed tonight, and I expect him to have a great season. But it doesn't mean there won't be ups and downs. But I'm happy for him that, he got off to a great start.
Two questions. One, what went through your mind when you were handed your ring? And two, what did the court taste like?
Blood. Maybe I wish it did. When I got the ring, I don't know. This thing's too big. I don't know why is it so big and how I'm never going to wear it. But it's cool to have. It's kind of what I thought. Yeah, I was more fascinated by the banner because, I come in here every afternoon and take a look at those, and they represent so much. And so the banner was the highlight for me because it represents a lot of things that go into it, and then the rafters have a life of their own in this building, and so it was cool. That moment was the coolest.
Joe, one of the curiosities for us was how was your team going to respond first game out after the championship, after raising the banner, the ring, the quote-unquote distractions, and you went and kind of dominated every margin along the way. So what was most impressive to you about what your team did?
It's a credit to them. I mean, the character and the mindset that those guys have. But I think, again, the word distraction, it can be good or bad. And we talked about it yesterday as a team, that this is a good distraction as long as we focus on what led to this. This banner was a byproduct of our toughness, the mindset, the details, the execution, the effort, togetherness, all those things. So as we're going through this ring ceremony, cherish it and focus on the process of what goes into that. And I thought the guys did a great job of that, but it's who they are. And that's why I have innate trust and confidence in who these guys are. But it was impressive to go from that to that. But if you look at it the way we want to, they're the same thing. The ring ceremony and the game are the same thing because the intangibles there are the details, are the execution, are the effort, are the togetherness and the toughness. And so we were able to carry on those intangibles from there to there, and that's kind of the goal,
Joe, you've got to be giddy with how you guys responded. Like that team in the other locker room wanted to make a statement. National TV, they wanted to show that they can compete with you, and you smoked them off the floor in the first quarter. Like that has to make you, that ultimate challenge has to make you excited as much as you're not looking too excited right now. You've got to be excited with the response.
I'm proud of the guys. It's the right mindset. I'm proud of that. But at the end of the day, if we were to lose this game, we have to, tomorrow and Thursday, have to approach it the same way. And so we won it. We did what we were supposed to do. I was proud of the way they responded from ring ceremony to the game. We have to take the details and the execution of the margins that we put in. And this result does not matter once we wake up tomorrow morning. But the biggest thing I'm proud of is the mindset of the guys. We weren't stuck in the past. We were able to transition from what got us to where we were to where we're trying to get to with the intangibles. And they came out, and it was a great start. And we were physical on defense, and we played together on offense, and it's a credit to them.
Joe, two-part question. A, what does the banner kind of encapsulate to you, as obviously you're working towards this for so long? And B, championship teams in the past have talked about a night like this kind of being a closure on the previous championship season. How do you view that? Do you go beyond it, or do you take what you accomplished with you?
Again, I said this a few times. Like, I don't mean to discredit the past, but it's not closure, because what the things that we replicated, we're trying to replicate the process of winning. So, like, it's not about the past as like from the standpoint of like the result, but what we do want to constantly focus on is like the process of winning. We were able to get to the highest pinnacle of that by the way we played on both ends of the floor for a long, extended period of time, over 100 games. That's what we're trying to do now. So it's not about forgetting that. You just can't stay attached to the result of that, but we should constantly be reminding of ourselves of what we were able to replicate over the course of a 9-month season with our consistency and the toughness and the mindset that we have, and that's what we're trying to build on. And so we just can't get stuck in the result of it, but it's one game. It's one game. It's a great start, but we got a lot of work to do.
Hey, Joe. You're someone who takes a lot of motivation from the outside world, from what you read, you watch, you're listening to. Is there anything in the off season that stuck with you that you brought in to the team this year?
Nothing in particular. I think more just kind of what we talked about here is like, the attachment towards a result versus the process of what you're trying to accomplish. And I never want our guys to forget what we've accomplished in the past. We just can't stay attached to the result of it. We have to constantly focus on the intangibles that went into the process of winning and replicate those over and over and over again. And credit to the guys, they did that tonight, and we got to make that decision, for however long we get to play.
Thank you, Joe.
Thanks.
We'll have Jason, Jalen, and Al. Thank you.
Jalen, just on your night tonight, reflecting on what you saw out there, where Celtics legends from the past were out there and the fans and everything, did that give you that extra jump right off the start?
Yeah, man, what an incredible night. Just the aura in the arena was amazing. Having the legendary Celtics just in the building, Bob Cousy, KG, Paul, Cedric Maxwell, all of the guys who have won, and it's almost like they were like passing the torch. I was fighting them back. But started the game. It was it was amazing. You know, this is what we set out the journey to do. This is what my rookie year when I got drafted. This is what, you know, I said I would do. I would go to war for the city, and it's great to watch that banner get raised.
Jalen, what part of the ceremony hit the most? The ring, the banner, the video? What kind of hit you the most?
I think like right before they called out the Celtic legends, to before they introduced them, it was just like at that time it was like it was just settling in. Me, JT, and Al were like just standing together, and I could feel it. Like before, I was like, you know, when we won at the first time, I was in shock, but you know, today, all the emotions kind of settled in. Like, nah, we did it. We did something spectacular, regardless of what everybody got to say. Like, my name alongside my teammates is going to be etched down in Celtic history, which is one of the biggest franchises in not just basketball and sports. You can never take that from nobody that was on that team last year. So, man, that's special.
You guys tied an NBA record with 29 three-point makes.
Yeah, man.
What went into all the looks you were able to create? And then at the end, I think you were the first one to miss one with a chance to go ahead. Did you know that could have broken the record?
I didn't know, but it was almost like we got jinxed or something. It was like when we were just playing, having fun, playing our style of basketball, everything was going in. And then once the crowd got into it and we started hunting them, like we couldn't even hit the bright side of the barn. Like everything was off. We got a bunch of great looks, and it was like a lid on the basket. So that just shows like we're not a team that's hunting threes. You know, I mean, we play the game and we do what we're supposed to do. But you know, I think towards the end it was tough because you know we wasn't playing the way we had normally played, but we still had a bunch of great looks.
Jalen, when Wick handed you that ring, you looked down, you looked very pleased. Just what was your impression when you first saw it?
Yeah, I mean, that ring is just an object, right? But it's the everything, the emotions, the heartbreak, the embarrassment, the work, the drive, the dedication. Like that's what that ring represents. You know what I mean? All of that is like what you feel when you hold something up. You know, so for me, I mean, that's what was going through my mind. And it was an amazing feeling.
Jalen, I would hazard everyone in this room spent their summer writing. You know, Jalen and Jason, they're going to approach the game different. The weight's going to be off their shoulder. It's going to be a different version of these guys. Now that, you know, we're back, did you feel like something had shifted? Did you, pardon the pun, did you feel like there was something new in your game?
I'm excited. Yeah, we got the journey started. First game, a lot of emotions, but it's a long season. You know, it's a battle of consistency. One game is just one game. You know, we fight to win. It was great to get the opening night, but I'm excited to be there for my team in those moments where it's tough, those moments where we're not shooting the ball well, those moments where everything is not going our way. I'm looking for those moments.
Jalen, how do you go from the emotions, the ring ceremony, the banner raising going up, and then switching over to the game, and you guys dominated. You were up 20 in the first quarter. How did that help you focus? Did you have to like work to refocus? How did that?
I can't speak for everybody. Everybody's on the team had their own but as a group, I thought we were pretty focused, and I felt like I was locked in. I wanted to start early on the defensive side, just try to wear on them, picking up JB full court, just trying to make it tough for him, trying to just impact the game in different ways. So I was pretty locked in.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
Jalen brought up the moment while you guys were kind of waiting to get your rings, and it was you, him, and Jason at the end, just waiting to get your rings, and the emotions of that. For you, just waiting there, watching everybody else get the rings, standing there with Jalen and Jason after all the work you guys have put into it. What was going through your head there, and how did you kind of try to savor that?
Yeah, just as best as I could, staying in the moment, tried to really enjoy that, that moment, and being with them there, seeing, my wife, my son right there, then my girls, my mom and dad, and just kind of taking everything in, just trying to take everything in and have that perspective. It was just very special. But in that moment with the three of us, I mean, it's one of those that, your turn is coming. You're going to get the ring, but they're just really celebrating our everybody and celebrating what we did.
Al, that sequence with Cat, when you got the block on him and then ball's inbounded, he gets the and one back on you. I'm Dominican, so I loved watching that. That matchup, how fun is that for you, Dominican versus Dominican?
Yeah, it's always fun. It's always fun to go against Cat. I mean, one of the best players in this league, and so much he can do. Now he's in New York. So it's always special for me, and it gives perspective. Both of us from Dominican and playing in this level. It's not easy to play, in the NBA and play at this level. So those moments are always special.
Empatan el récord de canastas de 3 puntos en un juego. ¿Crees que la ceremonia, la emoción contribuyó a la buena actuación del equipo en la primera noche?
Yo más que nada estoy orgulloso del grupo porque este partido es un juego fácil que nosotros nos pudimos haber relajado, que hubiésemos salido, como dicen, flat, sin energía, y fue todo lo contrario. El grupo salió muy determinado. Yo creo que Jason Tatum fue la clave. Él salió muy agresivo, muy confiado en sí mismo, y nosotros le seguimos. Y lo más importante fue que mantuvimos ese enfoque por la mayoría del partido. Y yo siento que el entrenador Mazzulla hizo un muy buen trabajo preparándonos y dándonos perspectiva de disfrutar del momento del anillo, y luego cuando eso se acabara enfocarnos en el partido. Y yo siento que lo hicimos a la perfección.
Al, whenever somebody comes here, joins the Celtics, people talk about the banners. You look up, you see them, you understand how special things are. Now you put one up. It's physically there. Did you find yourself today kind of like looking at it from the bench? You think it feels different seeing that banner that you won up there?
So much going on in the game, so many things. I saw it initially when we raced it up. I didn't take a look at it after that, but for me, with the whole ceremony, I was just very grateful to God for putting me in this position, and then seeing, my family there with me, and then what really hit me, and I think we talked about it. Gary asked me something about it in the morning about like emotions and things like that. Was when I saw Kusi and when I saw Cedric Maxwell, and then KG, Paul, and Ray, and when they kind of came out, and it's like a moment that it's like, man, these are legends. There's the responsibility. There's the Celtic legacy. We talk about a lot of these things, and that I feel like that was a really special moment for me. Just seeing them, come out, and us embracing them. It was very special for me.
Al, what's the gravity of being a part of that group now, having won a championship and accomplished what you did, and also, does tonight provide kind of closure on last year, or does the book continue on last year and moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, I don't look at it that way. I feel like I have those guys in very high regard, and I don't. Yeah, we did it, but to answer your question, yes, I feel like this closed the book the chapter on that. We've been waiting for this. You know, I've been waiting for a lot of years for this, and it happened. We enjoyed it, but we were moving forward. We're moving forward, and we understand the opportunity that we have in front of us, and we just have to cherish it.
Al, when Jalen was sitting right there, he talked about how when he held the ring, he kind of like saw a flash of his whole kind of career and journey through his eyes. So, did that happen to you?
No. That's special. I mean, you know, he did it. That's special. No, honestly, I was just very surprised by the size of that ring. You guys seen the ring? And the thing was that I got it on my, I dislocated my finger during the playoffs, and it was like super swollen. So when I took the measurements, like I got it like way bigger than it's supposed to be. So I'm like right now, I can't even wear it. Like it's just like, cause my finger kind of swelling came down on it, and it's just huge. So like I just kept talking to KP and the guys. It's like, man, this thing is just enormous. Like it's just pretty cool. So I just kept looking at the size of the ring and the detail on it, and you know, they really did a great job with it. So, all right, thanks.
Tonight was special. It was everything I thought it would be and more. The video playing of, all the ups and downs of the last 8 years was emotional. Seeing the banner grow up, seeing the legends, right? Ray Allen, Bob Cousy, those guys. That was cool. It was something that we'll always be bonded with, and a night that we'll always remember. That was special. That was cool to be a part of.
You looked pretty moved when you got the ring in your hands and almost in disbelief. What were you thinking in that moment?
It's just something I've been dreaming about for a very, very long time, and a moment that I've looked forward to since I've gotten to the league, and a moment that, right, before we won, I've been very, very close to winning a championship and falling short. So to finally get over that hump and finally be a part of opening night ring ceremony, something I've watched, every year since I was a kid. It was just a wow moment. Like, this is, I'm a part of it. I'm a part of history, and it was worth the wait.
Jason, individually, you talked about some of the work you did on your shot this summer. Obviously, had a terrific night shooting the ball personally, and then as a team, you guys obviously focus a lot, and Joe does, on winning the map in the game. Obviously, almost made more threes than you attempted in the game. I was just curious. First off, how did you feel trying that out with your shot in obviously the first game with it in live action? And as a group, what allowed you guys to have that dominant of a performance from a shooting perspective to double up on attack and give so much?
Yeah, I mean, shot felt good. I was in a good rhythm and things like that. And I think just offensively, I feel like we just kind of picked up from where we left off last year. We brought almost everybody back. We played to our strengths. We know what we're trying to do. We know who we're trying to attack. We know what sets and actions to get in, and we work on it all the time. We work on reads, every single day in practice, and that's essentially all we do. Like, yeah, we got plays and things, but we just make reads. We know where to be. We know when to cut. We know when to space the floor. We know when to make the extra pass. And obviously we got some super talented guys, and more often than not, we always got at least four guys on the court that can shoot threes. So, we just always try to make the right play and get a great shot.
Jason, you addressed the crowd before the game, and you had a good line. You said to the best fans in the world, "Let's do it again." First, did you plan the line ahead of time? And second, you just told the whole world your intentions are to repeat. What does it mean to say that so boldly?
Yeah, I mean, I planned something to say, but I got caught up in the moment. I was overwhelmed. I was like in awe, and emotions got the best of me. I know we're not supposed to talk about repeating, but the fans were just so excited. Like, fuck it, let's do it again. But after tonight, it's kind of, we got to put it behind us, right? We got to have the same approach as last year, that we just try to get better every day. We just try to get a little bit better. We're not looking to June. We, looking forward to Thursday, and that's our mindset.
Jason, you and Al and Jalen were kind of separated before the game, talking to each other. I was wondering if you could share a little bit about, what that moment was for you guys and sort of what you shared together.
Yeah, that was cool. That was when, the legends were passing us the trophy. And, I've been teammates with JB for 7 years, and I was 19 when I got drafted, and Al was in his 10th year. Now he's in his 18th year, and the journey that we've kind of all been on together and brought us to this point. And it was just cool to kind of share that moment with those two guys, and soak the moment in and enjoy it and embrace it. And that was dope.
Jason, did it occur to you that when you watched KG and Paul and Cousy come in, you're one of those guys. You could be one of those guys now that championships in the future, you could be walking in with them and celebrating the future, that you're kind of part of that era of that Celtics club now? That
yeah, I mean, in that moment for me, I was like a kid. I mean, obviously I didn't see Bob Cousy play, but I remember like the Celtics winning a championship in 2008. I think I was like 10 years old. And, you know, I watched Ray and Paul and KG. Like, I grew up watching those guys, and it's like a full circle moment, you know, for them to come back and share that moment with us and kind of pass the torch or whatever that symbolized. You know, I'm still a fan of those guys. Like, I remember, you know, they're part of my childhood. So, you know, that was an incredible moment, you know, dapping it up with them, and KG was screaming in my ear. And it's just like, man, I'm really like talking to Kevin Garnett right now. So, you know, I never take those moments for granted. Like, I think that shit is still cool, to be a part of things like that.
Last question to Gary.
Jason, Cousy's 96. I mean, you got a really thrilled all-star to meeting Larry Bird, but what was it like to see Cousy? I mean, he doesn't come obviously much, and I know you've probably only seen the grainy tapes, but what is it like for him, a guy who's almost 100 years old, to kind of to see him and just kind of that kind of punctuate the history?
Yeah, that was. He's like one of the first Celtic NBA legends at that. I got to shake his hand. You know, he said some kind words to me. I mean, he's a legend. He came out in a wheelchair, he threw his deuces up, and everybody went crazy. So that like really set it off. So, you know, I got to meet and take a picture with Bob Cousy. You know, that's something that'll live forever, I hope.